$62,000 Tahoe at the bottom, and he also had this $100,000 C8. All right, so was able to do a crazy pickup and turnaround literally in 48 hours running this sequence. Welcome back to the Funding Show. I'm your host, Solomon Woods, aka Solo the Funder. And on today's video, I'm breaking down a live case study showing you guys how to properly rebuild your credit and fund yourself. One of my clients was able to literally get 2 credit cards and auto loans in 48 hours using Equifax-only, and we're going to strategically use Equifax to rebuild the whole entire credit profile. Let's get into the video. For you guys that's cleaning your credit, rebuilding your credit, if you have one bureau clean, Equifax, Experian, or TransUnion, you can get funding leveraging that one bureau to make your move. So you don't have to wait for all 3 to be clean. You can strategically go to banks and credit unions that pull one credit profile to run it up. So I'm gonna show you guys. Number one, he had an authorized user trade line, right, which is a credit card that's 31 years old and a 15K limit. He also had a primary auto trade line that was in his name for $62,500. It's 4.5 years old with a $2,900 balance on it. Okay, so I wanted to give you guys those data points just so you know where we started from. Now, with a profile like this, without any credit cards, without any actual personal loan history or anything like that, I typically recommend a person focusing on personal funding first before moving to the business side if they don't have any revenue. So that's what we did. To start the sequence, I sent him to banks and credit unions that specifically pulled Equifax only. And what I wanted to do was start with soft pull pre-qualification options and then move towards banks that do a hard pull. So this is our lineup. We went with All In Credit Union. They only serve Florida and Alabama is where the locations are. Okay. Then we went to Truist. Also, the client is in Florida. We went to DCU, and then we went to CQ of MD. Okay. Those are the 4 places we started with. So Truist approved him first for $19,000 personal credit card. What I advised him to do is go for more products because you can get typically 3 to 4 products from Truist with one hard inquiry. Next approval was DCU. They were able to approve him for a $5K credit card as well as a $60,000 auto loan. Okay. CQ is pending. Okay. No approvals yet. With this specific sequence, so far he's been able to get a $62,000 Tahoe and a $100,000 C8. I'm gonna show you guys the pictures. $62,000 Tahoe at the bottom, and he also had this $100,000 C8. All right, so was able to do a crazy pickup and turnaround literally in 48 hours running this sequence. I wanted to show you guys that for proof of concept to show you how quick you can really rebuild your credit and structure it and get great results very quickly. But this is where it gets really interesting. Let me ask you something. If I gave you $100,000 at 0% interest for 12 months, would you take it? Of course you would. The wealthy do it every day. Banks do it all day long. It's called using other people's money, and it's how smart entrepreneurs scale fast. Now imagine if you're the connector, the one who helps entrepreneurs get access to $25, $50, $100,000 or more, and you get paid every time the bank says yes. No guesswork, just results. I put together a free training to show you how to start your own 6-figure funding company the right way. High trust, high reward, high impact. Click the link in the description below and step into the world that many people never even knew exists. So that 62 Tahoe is going to report on his credit profile along with the 100K C8 that he got, the $5,000 credit card from DCU, the $19,000 credit card from Truist. Okay. Now, what's going to happen next is this is actually going to report on Experian and TransUnion, and that's where it gets really exciting, because once it reports on Experian and TransUnion, then he's going to have what's called comparables, right? Comparables are just accounts that banks are going to look at to determine how much and if they're going to approve you for another product. So with these comparables being on his credit profile like this is going to give him the opportunity to now leverage Experian and TransUnion banks continuing to build out his sequence. So now he can go to these other bureaus and start building as well. Let's say, for example, with that $19,000 comparable, he should start getting higher approvals for credit cards. So let's say he gets approved from a next bank for $10K across the board on Experian, as well as same thing for TransUnion. He's going to have the ability to add an additional $60,000, just pulling off the history that he's been able to get with Equifax so far. And the cool thing is, it's not even done, right? This just happened this week. We got other banks that are pending on his Equifax. So I'm not even sure how much more money he's going to get. He might grab another $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 card on his Equifax. And that's going to really accelerate him even faster to his goal. Okay. So this is just one direction he can go. Now, let's say he wants to make an investment. Let's say he wants to make a move and start investing using other people's money. I always recommend staying away from using credit cards to invest if they're personal credit cards, because as we know, once you start going up above 30% utilization, then your credit score goes down, right? We want to avoid that. So the best next move for him would be maybe term loans. Okay, we could do a personal term loan stack and as a pre-approval for $25K from All In, as well as another pre-approval for $40K for DCU, just with that one bureau. So we're waiting on this final approval for this one. Okay, so let's say, for example, he grabs $65K from just that bureau alone, again, with those comparables being on there and us stacking as fast as possible. What we could do is maybe grab him another 25 to 40K on Experian and TransUnion, right? That's going to put him, that could put him at 100K plus liquid that he can invest with. He could put that into a real estate investment or marketing and expansion for his funding company, right? So this is how credit really opens you up. And it's all about strategy, guys. You know, I recommend taking your time. I recommend being really targeted and strategic with your moves so you put yourself in a good position. Because at the end of the day, with him running up all this personal credit, has to age 6 to, I would say, 9 months or so for best results to get the most out of the business side. So this is all about strategy, guys, and setting yourself up for maximum success in the near future. If you guys, shout out to my guy, KK the Game Changer. He's one of my inner circle students. Big ups to him for making his moves and making those plays. I love it.